Alright, so today we're going to go over the steamer. So in your cut and paste journal, you have the picture of the tabletop steamer that we have here on campus. You worked with it a little bit yesterday. It is the Set and Smooth brand, okay, so you know how it functions. But then here are a list of some things, some benefits, some key points that pertain to the steamer, not particularly this brand, but just in general, some things that it has the capabilities of for your skin or your client's skin. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out with our colors or scissors. So go ahead, you can pause here, you can find your pages and cut and paste. And we are going to go ahead and label this steamer. All right, so with our steamer, we're gonna label a few things, okay? This here is going to be our base. We talked about not dragging it because it bounces, and if there's water here at the tip, okay, at the little nozzle tip, little droplets of water that are very hot can fall on your guest, on your client. So you grab it by the handle. And so the handle is going to, or the arm is going to be this part, and the plastic cup is covering it, but it's the long piece here. Okay, and so this is going to be the arm. That is how you grab the steamer and how you pick it up to move it around. Okay, the base and the arm are stationary; they do not move. All right, with moving the actual steamer arm, so this here is the arm, okay, the base part, and I guess I'll change my color here, this is the base of the arm. This does swivel, so it does spin around. Okay, so if you want it to point to the left like it is, fine. If you want to point to the right, just swivel it over and it will spin around to change directions for you. Okay, the next thing that also rotates is this part right here at this particular part of the arm. Okay, this part does also spin. Okay, so if you want to rotate it, you can also do that. You can do so to clean the tip where the water comes out, where the steam comes out from. You can manipulate or maneuver it to face a different direction. This does not go up or down. The height of the tabletop steamer, that's as far as you get. But you do have, this is the arm here, but you do have here, you can add an extension. Okay, so it will be longer, and it probably will be this long, and then this piece here, the little head part, is going to be further, so it would start about right here, so typically about that long right there. Okay, so it does give you a good extension with your steamer. Works the same, still swivels here and here, it just extends the arm. Okay, now this particular part here that's flipped open, yesterday it was closed, but this is for your essential oils. Okay, and this is where you would flip this open and drop a few, not a lot, drop a few drops here to use that function. Okay, so that sometimes the water, especially, you shouldn't, but if you leave the water in here for a good while, it starts to smell funny, and you definitely don't want to do that. But that essential oil, besides it making the service nicer for your client, it will feel a lot, it'll smell a lot better just in general. Okay, this here, this little spout, and I'll do it in blue, this is where the steam comes out from, the steam exit. Okay, and so this is where that steam is going to come and flow from. Again, it will move in length, rotation, and the swivel piece in the direction that you need it to. You just have to work with it. When you're moving it around, hold it at the base so that way you don't topple over the steamer. And then just always be careful with the direction of where this is pointing, the head is pointing. And let's do, this is the head. Okay, because that's where it's coming out from. This piece here, so that is definitely important. You do not want to burn your client, okay? This piece right here, okay, this is the water cup. With our water cup, it does have measurements here. It has a minimum and a max. With the water cup, never under max and never over, never under minimum. I'm so sorry about that. Never under the minimum line and never over the max. So you don't want to ever let it get underneath that minimum line, okay, so it doesn't burn and doesn't ruin your steamer. For the most part, most steamers have a sensor and they will begin to beep, okay. This is like a stove. This heating element, which we're going to label in a minute, the heating element in here gets really hot like a stove, and if there's no water on here and it gets really hot, it can burn. It is a... Pretend it's a stove. Imagine and see, feel it, and well, don't feel it because it gets really hot, but just treat it as a stove. When you leave the stove on, okay, that's dangerous. So you do not want to leave this on with a minimum, with the water underneath the minimum. Besides, it'll beep, but never do that, okay? And then never overfill it, okay, because it just spills out. You have a hard time closing it. This comes down and it goes up, but you have to swivel, you have to spin, okay? And you use both hands. It is plastic. There are some that are glass, we talked about that, but it is plastic, okay? So you just have to be very careful. You can use the oven mittens if this is if you've been using it and it's hot. Here we have our heating element, okay? And I'm gonna go this way, so this is a heating element. And that's what gets really hot. And then there's a little straw there that sucks some of the water up. Okay, we're not going to label that one. It's really difficult to see. We have the on and off buttons. So, I guess let me use this color. This is the on and the off. And this on and off, and this is the ozone. Okay. Very important to make sure to have those on and turn them off and unplug the steamer every time you're done using it. To keep your machine a long time and to keep it well maintained, you always want to dump the water out. Always want to dump the water out. And there's different thoughts on it, but distilled water is best to use with the steamers. That way it keeps up your steamer a long time. It doesn't have the particles in there. It's better quality water, etc., etc. It works better, okay? You can wash the water cup if needed or necessary. So those are the parts of our steamer, okay? Now, as far as for what the steamer does, and we'll just quickly list some of these, or mention some of these. We won't go through them in detail, but it does help boost circulation, okay? It helps draw the blood to the surface, giving you the warm, healthy glow, and it's probably because it's really hot in there under the steam. It does help increase perspiration, which is sweating, okay, to help move those toxic wastes from your body. And the moisture does soften your skin, okay, so it does open, it's hot, so it does open the pores, allows you for a better extraction of anything underneath in your pores under your skin. And also it helps, because the pores are open, it helps deposit product, and it helps the body absorb it because it's opening the pores, allowing for the penetration of product, okay? Better than what our fingertips or just regular temperature skin will do, okay? It does allow, like I said, your skin to absorb other products, okay? Great before doing any type of facial mask, especially if it's a mask that's withdrawing impurities. because the pores are open, and like I said, it helps unclog the pores. It does help to tighten the skin some. It helps remove the dead skin because it moves it all. Imagine a dirty plate, okay, and you have mashed potatoes. You know, mashed potatoes get really hard, and you leave the plate out by the sink. You don't rinse it. It's really hard and crusty, but once you put the plate in the water, the mashed potatoes start to absorb the water and they get smushy again, and it's easier to scrape off or wipe off the mashed potatoes on the plate. Same concept, okay? Dead skin is hard and crusty per se. Once you get the steam going in there and the temperature of that surface changes, they kind of get soaked a little bit, and so it's easy to remove that dead skin layer, okay? You can use it on different parts of the body as well. It does help control acne. Now, when you do a Bactial, which is a facial on the back, you are able to use a steamer. Also on the shoulders, lower mid arms, and then also the décolleté, which is the chest. Okay, and it does help fight aging. Now, all of these are some benefits that you do see with a steamer. So please make sure to take your notes on this. And this is going to be our page 22 for your facial journal. All right, next we're going to be going on to our scrubbing facial handheld machines. But for now, the steamer one will do. All right, so thank you for watching, and let's go and move on to the next.